Crypto crackheads, I feel a lot better today. I woke up without a sinus pain up here and don't need to take Claritin like I was Monday through Wednesday, so or no, through Thursday. So I feel a lot better. Sorry, it's a little groggy. I didn't realize how tired I was until I went to bed every night and I realized, holy cow, this is knocking me out. So anyway, let's get back to the charts. The point of this video is, I think most folks are anticipating a big move in one direction. One direction or the other, right? So Bitcoin has been consolidating for quite some time. The volatility's been getting low. It's ready to move in one direction, and it's ready to move kind of hard. So you need to be thinking of two major things. What clues am I going to get that are going to tell me act now to benefit from being on the correct side of the straight as expansion happens? So what should I be looking for in general terms is the first thing. And I'm going to give you some clues about that today and just basic tools to use. And then second thing is, at what point do I know this is not a fake out in the opposite direction before the true expansion happens the other way? So I'm not caught in a trick trade. We're going to think about that here in this video as well. So that's what we'll dive into. So the most obvious thing that I'm seeing right now is the 2-day chart on Bitcoin. And I'm going to go back and forth between Bitcoin and Ethereum. But on the 2-day chart, the 2-day 200 EMA is pretty much in line with the current battle point, which is this bi-weekly line. So two bi-weekly candles, open and closed here. This seems to be the main area of the battlefront. Even on the 1-minute chart, you see everything wicking down and wicking up to that line right now. So what could happen here is Bitcoin gets squeezed down. All right. So how are you going to know it's going to be squeezed down and not have a trick play up? Well, let's first look at what a trick play up looked like, because there was one in recent history where this exact type of formation happened. And it was right before a relief rally, a massive bull trap. So you had the same posturing here, 2-day 10 closing in on the 2-day 200, and you had a scare down. And then your true volume came after a scare down with a lower low. So you can see here, though, that the volume of that red candle was not aggressively, much higher than the surrounding candles. So if we get a scare down on a moderate amount of volume, you might realize that, hey, this could be not the true way it's getting ready to fly. And then obviously when it went the correct direction of expansion, the daily, the volume bars got, they became outliers within recent price history, relative to here. And this is not, let's see here, let's say from here to here. Yeah, that's, you're looking at, 2.5 months of price history. So using volume is not something I do all the time. However, when you're trying to get confirmation of expansion one direction, you're going to see those volume of the same color of the direction it's going to go. So this scare down did not get that volume. So that would have given you the tip that it's actually getting ready to go the other direction. Okay, so that's one indicator, or that's one thing to look out for. It could easily happen again because we have a very similar posturing. Bitcoin might want to pierce down here and then fly up. And you're going to see it on volume. That volume probably wouldn't come past here on a move down. Right? Okay. And then on Ethereum, you have another squeeze play happening. Weekly chart, I believe it's unfortunately the 21 and the 10, which just happened to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin just had this cross, and the cross was related to a further move down, squeaking out a slightly lower low. So Ethereum is not looking too healthy right now. It's got 2 days left in this candle. A lot of things could happen. It could even flip green. Who knows? But I think what's going to happen is next week, if it does want to squeeze up, because it's probably going to squeeze one way, Ethereum will too. Ethereum's at a pinnacle of wanting to squeeze. So what might happen is you might be able to tell whether something's a fake out to the wrong side if the next week candle starts and it looks like it's going to get a scare down, but it only comes to here, and you see a bounce off that point, which it probably would. then the latter days of the week could form a pretty big green candle, but this would likely be my guess as to, at least on Ethereum's chart, where that fake out would lead price, and anything below there would add to the likelihood that Ethereum truly is just going to head down, as opposed to making a lower low and then faking out. I bet this line would be respected during a fake out. So this week closes here or something, then next week starts red, goes even below this line here, but doesn't go below here. That would be your clue. As long as Ethereum price doesn't come down below this point, the idea of expansion to the upside is still kind of likely. It's kind of like a, but it does look like pressure down. So, so this is the squeeze play here. Let's see if it's on another chart. It's already been squeezed on the 5-day chart. That looks pretty bad. Got squeezed down. Using this as resistance. So this 5-day closes in 2 hours? No way. That looks pretty bad. Okay, some other simple things to look out for is this. On the 1 hour chart, and I'm going to go back to Bitcoin. You can just pull up the, let's say, the 200 and the 10. So another thing that might give you the clue of a true expansion, let's say in the up direction, right? Not that I'm necessarily betting on it, price expanding up, which I think it's slightly more probable it does, but every bump, so on Bitcoin, above the 200 EMA is getting smaller and smaller. So this distance from here to here, the bumps are getting smaller and smaller. So if you see price inch out anything over this level here, that pattern has changed, and that could give you your indication that, hey, price really is going to expand in the up direction because it just broke trend. Now, how do you know if it's fake out or not? Well, probably from the volume. The volume's going to confirm it. And the one way to play that, if you do get a fake out to the upside before it dropped down, just make sure you're taking profits. It's somewhere obvious, especially these previous 2 local highs. If you're playing something from here to here, you might take profits, even though it might keep zooming up. Who cares? I would take profits with bot right there, with the event that it's going to be hard to tell if it's going to be a fake out to the wrong direction first, right? But that would still be if you like the smaller time frames, this would be an easy way to see it. Did price make a higher percentage high above this 200 EMA, or even break this horizontal here? If it does, expansion to the up direction is kind of likely. Same for the downside. So the downside distance from here to here, here to here, and here to here even changed. And then it got even lower here, and price did just break it. So this could be the fake out to the downside before the true movement to the upside. It is possible that is what we are seeing happening right now. And it's possible that that's not even done, right? So this could be a fake out all the way to some obscure level that doesn't make sense. So being in any position in the middle of the range might not be the wisest choice. You need to wait for confirmation and perhaps wait on a retrace. So I don't know if I would fully enter positions right now and be poised to say, oh, it's going to go up. I'm making my bets now. Be really careful with this, because it's possible that this is a fake out. It's possible that the fake out gets bigger and goes up, or it's possible that there is no fake out and it really does just keep going down, right? It's going to be really easy to be on the wrong side of the trade here coming up. However, one of your bigger indicators of true direction before you really, if you're trying to play this, is your volume profile right here. Just put in volume. Which honestly, this looks kind of bad because it looks like volume did just spike up to the downside. This looks like a pretty clear. Yeah. So this would be the fake out down, I think, if it's going to have one. So there's not really a whole lot more going on in Bitcoin. It's just sitting, wait and game to see when volatility happens. So, but remember, in summary though, the things that'll give you an easy clue is if you see the 2-day heading above or below either the 200 or the 10, that will give you the clue that expansion in that direction could be happening. On Ethereum, it's the week. The weekly chart is getting squeezed by the 10 and the 21. If you see breakage in that formation, the likelihood of continuation in that direction, particularly down, is pretty high. Okay, or you can look at the 5-day. If this 5-day closes on Ethereum and the next 5 days simply can't get above this, it's probably going to push price down. This cross is probably going to push price down. So watching the 5-day on Ethereum could be a pretty big, a pretty big clue as well. Especially since this closure will align with the beginning of next week's candle. So this closure will be pretty important. The next 5-day candle of Ethereum, which that begins tonight. The new 5-day candle of Ethereum. It's an odd time frame, but you might want to watch that one. And what else do we have? Another thing I'm watching here is I want to see Bitcoin's daily RSI get back above its moving average as opposed to getting rejected. So a rejection, so if the green gets rejected by the white line as it comes up, that could be another indication that you're getting ready to have a down move. And that was actually on Ethereum, but I think it crossed on Bitcoin as well. Yeah, it did. It broke below. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to keep trying to crawl out of here over the next couple days. So simply watching the RSI on the daily could be a pretty good clue as well. What else? So if y'all have indicators that you use that I don't use regularly that you think would be a good, I guess, a good indicator to use to get a heads up whether you're going to be on the correct side of this expansion or get stuck in a fake out. If you think there's a pretty good indicator out there, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be ready to use it in my analysis for the next video. So don't be shy. Let me know what you're using, what you think might be able to give you even further edge on this outside of the basic tools I've talked about today. So other than that, be careful. And again, don't bet the house on something until you get confirmation with volume, and perhaps even you see confirmation with the retrace down. So if things break up, a trace down, and then seeing a clear higher low, that might be when you're going to be more confident expansion up is going to happen. I don't think it's just on the daily, you're just going to keep going up. And if it does, that's probably going to be a bull trap. So in general terms, that's what I would be looking for, or the other way. Expansion down, then you get rejected, and then if you get rejected, you're probably going to keep moving down. So so those are the basic tools I'm using, and we will see you next time. Be safe. Don't use too much leverage. Don't get your butt kicked.